there's more of a rigorous effort to keep up ethics and values, and it turns out that when you have families in this day and age, you have to put up with what's in the media, what you have to deal with at work, and the sad thing is that the ethics, the rules, and the values and guidelines that you're taught at church really start to they set new rules for you, but at the same time you're feeling pressure from the outside world to give into these fleshly emotions, and sometimes people just can't take it. And you have kids to come home, they have the peer pressure and influence and stuff like that. They come home to their parents who are already conservative Christians. They have their own point of view. This is the way the house is run. If this is my house, my rules. We're going to follow God. And you slowly find themselves giving into making concessions because they don't want to argue with their kids any longer. And eventually, one parent gets into a kid, the other parent doesn't like it, takes notice that they have an argument, and then you slowly start finding that the influence that the kids have on the parents, when the parents start taking, the law and start bending it because they find that it best suits their needs, and one thing leads to another. If you do it once, you're going to do it twice. If you do it twice, you're going to do it 3 times. And before you know, you have a family that is completely going opposite of what their values were supposed to do when they got married, and it leads to this incredible divorce rate.
See, I hear what you're saying. I think that that's part of it, the whole compromising, and that is definitely part of it. Parents now, don't. It's some people just don't want to stick to their values,
Yeah.
Or our value systems. I think in our society are really weak, and I'm it's sad, but I'm also seeing. I think that parents parents don't want to parent no more. They don't want to discipline anymore. They want the easy way out. But I think I'm seeing a lot of it. The divorce, I think, is coming from just selfishness. I think selfishness, where something's happening in our marriages, where people, the whole point of not the whole point, but one of the points of and one of the things that we're supposed to do when we get married is we're supposed to learn to die to our desires.
The two become the one.
Right. Christ said that husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church, and he gave his life for her. And I just think that that's not happening, going both ways. People don't want to die to themselves.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the other person to change.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't want to change. This is the way that I am. If I know if a wife knows that their husband likes a certain thing, but their husband's not meeting their needs, it's like nobody wants to sort of give ground or or give up their desires. I really see that happening a lot right now, where people are putting up this resistance, well, I'm not going to say sorry, or I'm not going to change who I am. This is how I am. They knew when I came into this marriage, this is the way that I was, and I'm not going to change. But there needs to be that life is about change. It's not about changing your values, but it's learning to give in and to give up your desires. Not all of them. That doesn't mean you have to give up everything, But there's times when you have to, when a person has to say, what, I'm going to be the bigger person, whatever, or I'm going to be the, I know that this makes her happy.
That's the role model that we need for them.
I know that this makes her happy, or I know that this makes him happy. So I'm gonna do it, even though I don't like to do it, even though I don't like to cook, even though I don't like to whatever. You know what I mean? Even though I don't like making the bed, I don't like making the bed.
Right.
You do little things like that, little things that you know that make your spouse happy. It goes a long way. And I just think that that's not happening anymore. It's like, well, she's not doing it for me, so she's not doing this for me, so I'm not doing that for her. And then it just goes vice versa. And then this wall gets built up.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a shame.
I really see that as really happening.
Really.
Yeah, you know, the whole family structure is just breaking down.
It needs, what it really needs is a revival, and we need you to get this message out there. So, Burke, it's a pleasure talking today.
Yes.
I'm glad we got this
absolutely.
message out. Make sure that people are aware of this. And if you have any suggestions, or if you have any comments or questions, or if you want us to see topics covered, email me at this email that you're going to see on the screen at the bottom, alright? sgaida@rocketmail.com. So
And I
it'll
want-
be right at the bottom.
And I want to just encourage everybody to look into this whole marijuana thing. It's not just legalizing it for medical use. It's not people that are using it for medical use. It's what it's doing is it's endorsing the use in our kids. It's destroying our teenagers, and it's definitely, I believe, it's leading to our dropout rate right now. So hopefully we'll have more to talk about this, and more discussion on both of these topics
Definitely.
in the future.
We'll try to bring you as much as we can when we can.